outside, got brazen hair. First time I seen her walk by, and I about fell up out my chair. Had to get her number, it took me like 6 weeks. Now me and her go way back, like Cadillac seats. Body like a back road, driving with my eyes closed. I know every curve like the back of my hand. Doing 15 and 30, I ain't in no hurry. I'ma take it slow, just as fast as I can. The way she fits in them blue jeans, she don't need no belt. But I can turn them inside out, I don't need no help. Got hips like honey, so thick and so sweet. There ain't no curves like hers on them downtown streets. Body like a back road, driving with my eyes closed. I know every curve like the back of my hand. Doing 15 and 30, I ain't in no hurry. I'ma take it slow, just as fast as I can. Tangled up in the tall grass, with my lips on hers. On the highway to heaven, headed south of a smile. Get there when we get there, every inch is a mile. Body like a back road, driving with my eyes closed. I know every curve like the back of my hand. Doing 15 and 30, I ain't in no hurry. I'ma take it slow, just as fast as I can. I'ma take it slow, just as fast as I can. I got brazen.
Tan toes tickling the sand, cold drink chilling in my right hand, watching you sleep in the evening light, resting up for a long, long night. 'Cause when the sun goes down, we'll be grooving when the sun goes down. We're feeling alright when the sun sinks down. Over the water, everything gets hotter when the sun goes down, yeah.
All day long, just taking it easy, laying in a hammock where it's nice and breezy, and sleeping off the night before. 'Cause when the sun goes down, we'll be back for more.
When the sun goes down, we'll be grooving when the sun goes down. We're feeling alright
When the sun sinks down over the water, everything gets hotter when the sun goes down.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 300 Raceway for the 50,000 Nationals here this weekend, the big one, as we are going to pay out 6 of those big checks here tonight. Fans, my name is Dan Mayer. I'll be one of your announcers. I'm going to be joined by Miles Krieger. We also got Charles Posch here, and we'll have Jason Schultz out in the crowd a little bit later on. But, Miles, we've qualified the vehicles. It's time to get down to business.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a fantastic Thursday night, a fantastic Friday night. Mother Nature has dealt us an absolutely beautiful weekend of pulling here. The sun is shining. Our stars of the sport from all across the United States are here. And tonight we get to do something we've never done before.
Now, both of you guys, for the first time, you guys have been able to be here. What are some of your big takeaways from coming to this event?
For me personally, it's the condition of the track. I think it surprised a lot of folks who have never been here before, and particularly we looked at the Superstock diesel trucks. They had not been here in about 4 years, and talking to many of them, they felt confident going in, and then afterwards, after it was all over, they said, boy, we forgot or misjudged it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think track conditions, and then just the beauty of the facility. I mean, what an awesome place to be able to have an event at. And RJ and Brandon have worked very, very diligently with their staff to make sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed, and the experience for the puller, the fan, everybody has been pretty well perfect.
You know, and we're just about 20 minutes away from opening ceremonies here tonight, fans. So make sure you head on back into the concourse area. Grab yourself something good to eat as well as cold to drink, as we have just got a absolutely picture-perfect day here. Not a cloud in the sky. Mother Nature has shined on us here. Finally, for this event here, the last couple of years have had Mother Nature interfere on Saturday, but not here tonight.
Had one with this afternoon, probably around 4 o'clock. They were starting to bring in the 4.1s and the mod four-wheel drives into the scales and get their drawbars checked. And at that particular time, Free and Easy Down the Road I Go was playing over the system throughout the entire property. And walking along that line, everybody had a seriousness to them that I have not seen at a Grand National ever before. There was nobody free and easy, even though a few of them are going to get sent down the road.
Oh, absolutely, and it's go time. You know, we saw that, the last couple days here. It seemed like after the drivers' meeting, it was like, okay, now it's time to get down to business. And here today, it just started a little bit earlier as we had the draw here this afternoon. We picked all the positions where everybody's going to go here tonight, and then, of course, had the drivers' meeting right there, and then it's go time.
Yeah, it permeated throughout the entire pit area. Guys were checking over, triple checking, quadruple checking. I even had one fella I talked to with a team. He said, I've been over this thing so many times now, I'm starting to see ghosts. I need to walk away.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's consuming all of us. There's no question about it. It's sort of been the talk of the sport since we finished up at Farm Show in February and we made our ways back to our homesteads. Then the focus became, let's get ready to go to Farley and see what happens. And now it's time. It's time to do it. And like, I think there were many competitors who probably had an idea in their mind of what number they hoped to draw. You saw some faces kind of, you saw some reactions where it was like, well, I really don't care, and maybe they played it off. But we'll see just how these tracks allow us to have this competition tonight. You know, early numbers in some classes have been great. Late numbers have come right on back past those early numbers, so it's really just about have everything right when you make your shot, and drive the truck right, and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely, and hats off to Jim Miller and his crew out there working on these tracks. And he's celebrating a birthday here today, so good to see Jim out there enjoying his birthday and doing the thing he likes to do, and that is make power tracks.
Absolutely. Does it far and wide across the Midwest as we travel the NTPA Tour. And everybody, you ask a puller, and they say, Jim Miller track? Okay, I know what I need to adjust.
Yep, and that is bring your A game. Tuner, crank her up, right? Crank her up, and all the classes here. Of course, fans, here tonight, you're going to see the modified four-wheel drives. We got the mini rods on hand here tonight. We got the two-wheel drives, the limited pro stock tractors, the super stock diesel trucks, and then, of course, the big pro stocks. And that has been the talk of the town here. 50 pro stocks coming into this weekend, and it was literally a who's who to qualify here tonight.
There, no question. You start going through the list of who is here and obviously who has punched tickets in. And there are a few big names that didn't punch tickets that maybe have been circled right off the bat as this is a threat to take the 50. And there are a few that, we're so glad are back with us that may not have been running. I'll highlight Dustin Hook, for instance. Pretty awesome to have him back out pulling in a pro stock tractor full-time this summer. And right off the bat, comes out last night in that beautiful John Deere and punches his ticket. We welcome Randy Bader into that final as well, another guy who we don't get to see as much, but certainly he proved himself last night with a top 3 finish. And so those guys are here, they're in it, and early in the season, pretty good form already to be here at Farley and put yourselves in the final.
Something else that I'm looking forward to tonight is I'm going to be curious to see, I've been asking these guys quite frequently that, are you going to change your game plan as you're seeing stuff happen with the track? And most of them were saying, no, I'm going to stick with my gut. But that's because they were only looking to get top 10 and get to here. Tonight, the answer is likely to be significantly different because now you have to have your tongue hanging out and go for it to try to find that $50,000.
Yeah, absolutely, fans, and just the clock keeps on ticking here as we get closer and closer to that start time, as we will start with the modified four-wheel drives here tonight as well as the Limited Pros, the first two classes we have seen the last couple days. And, gentlemen, let's talk about some of the sponsors that are helping out this great event here this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Title sponsor this weekend is Raider Implement. We thank them so very, very much and have really appreciated their continued support of the event as they have been on board every year that there has been an event here. They are located, family-owned in Dubuque since 1957, third-generation business, multi-line dealership carrying high-quality new and used tractors, combines, farm equipment. You can visit Raider Implement in Dubuque, Eastern Iowa's premier implement dealer. Also want to thank our friends at Simon's Trucking, family-owned and operated since 1946. Simon's Trucking operates with pride and professionalism to provide their customers with exceptional performance. You can visit simonstrucking.com to see all of Simon's Trucking has to offer. We thank Nutrien Ag Solutions for access to the best-in-class solutions and service to help you lead the field this season and beyond. And, of course, we thank them on both the NTPA side and the event sponsorship here, both Sempico and ProFab machines. Sempico offers a wide range of paraffin-based specialty oils that can greatly improve the performance and durability of your engines and equipment. And ProFab machine, of course, specializes in producing driveline products for truck and tractor pulling, hunting buggies, and monster truck vehicles. You can visit their products page for more information on transmissions, transfer cases, gears, spline shafts, and differentials.
And all summer long, the NTPA Championship Tour is brought to you by our friends at Case IH, where we say our equipment is built by farmers, and we mean it. Our employees, dealers, and their families farm millions of acres across North America. That's why you'll find our equipment is built with you in mind to get the job done. Our full line of equipment covers every horsepower range and configurations to match your every need, because our most critical customers are our employees. Find out what Case IH can do for you. And we also welcome again tonight our friends from Beck's Hybrids. Beck's is a seed company that gives you more, from high-yielding products to industry-leading agronomist sales support and farmer-focused programs. Beck's is more than just a bag of seeds. And we also thank our friends at Hot Shot Secret. Hot Shot Secret is the #1 fastest-growing automotive lubricant manufacturer in the U.S. for a reason. They engineer high-quality products that actually do what they say. See the entire line of products at hotshotsecret.com. Products also available nationwide at automotive retailers, farm and ag stores, truck stops, and more, and also in our vendor midway tonight.
Yeah, we want to encourage you as well to stop by the official souvenir merchandise trailer for the NTPA. Pulling fans, you can do your motorsport proud and wear it loud with the officially licensed apparel available at the NTPA merchandise stand. It is located behind the grandstand, just about half track. It's the only place where you can get your very own limited edition Farley shirt here for the weekend, and once they are gone, they will be gone. There's also plenty of other apparel, including the 2025 Grand National Circuit shirt. It's featured this classic NTPA logo as well. We even got a Case IH toys, pulling tractors and plush animals outfitted in their own NTPA shirts. You'll love the new turbocharger keychain. It's not only lights up, it whistles like the real thing. Sure, all of our stuff can be seen, shopped, and shipped right here from shopmtpa.com as well. But why not buy it right here and save the postage? Grab a copy of Wild Rides, Wrecks, and Fire. Need earplugs, a pin, a patch, or a decal? They're just a short walk away at the NTPA merchandise stand. Gear up.
Mack Trailers, a national leader in specialized trailers, parts, and services. With over 12 plant locations and more than 1.8 million square feet of manufacturing space, Mack Trailer has what it takes to make trailers that fit your needs. And we also thank the U.S. Army. What do you want the most from your career? Stability, a great salary? What about paid training and mentorship? Or the ability to rise to the top of your field on merit alone? How about honor and integrity? A career that makes you and your family proud? That's right. One benefit. The U.S. Army, you can have it all with GoArmy.com to get started on your journey. Thank you to all those of you who are watching at home this weekend on FullPull.live throughout the entire summer. You can watch the ultimate NTPA Grand National Pull Experience, introducing FullPull.live, your all-access pass to every heart-pounding moment. With FullPull.live, you'll stream every single pull live in stunning high definition right from your phone, computer, or TV. But that's not all. We're bringing you exclusive interviews, in-depth commentary, and behind-the-scenes access that you won't find anywhere else. For just $39.99 a month, you get a season pass to the most thrilling motorsport on earth. Don't miss a second. Sign up now at FullPull.live.
Well, thanks again for all of the sponsors. There's many, of course, that I will highlight throughout the evening that are our local sponsors that have jumped on board to support the event here, and also all the events that come our way to this beautiful facility here at 300 Raceway. Stars of the Sport are on the track right now. We're doing a little poking. We're checking to find out exactly where the path is we want to be. Now, that's sort of how we'll work throughout the evening. The driver will have the discretion to set that cone anywhere they want to inside those chalk lines, and they better choose right.
Yeah, they've got a pretty wide track to choose a path down. And it seems like, in your experience, particularly up here, being able to watch them come head on, it seems like the infield track is a little bit more of a one-liner sort of a situation, whereas the grandstand side track, we've seen guys move around just a little bit more throughout the course of the weekend.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. We're over there a little bit closer to the chalk line on the infield side, running left there, especially finishing there. We may start a little bit different. Think about Cole Zychek last night. He started right where that John Deere tractor is, hooked to the red sled on the infield side, and then he made himself a nice diagonal path that nearly ended at that concrete barrier right under that light right here at the big end of the track. So, a lot of the minis have found themselves over to that left chalk line. We'll see kind of what the plan is this evening as they all come that way. Four-wheel drive trucks will start on the infield side, 4-1 Limited Pros on the grandstand side, and then we go the rest of the evening.
Grandstands are starting to fill up with fans ready to see one of the biggest things to come down the line in the sport of pulling. I hope you guys, we got a few up there that are standing up. Go ahead, feel free to sip for a moment. Take your time, get yourself ready. Take a deep breath, because pretty soon you're not going to want to be sitting down for anything that's going to happen out on this track.
Yeah, absolutely going to be non-stop action here, double track action here as we finish up just a little bit of that groom work here before we get tonight's action underway. Of course, Mother Nature. This is going to be something interesting here. We've got the sun, on the track here. We haven't had that. We had, cloudy conditions last couple days here. So them early classes going to have to deal with the sun.
Indeed, Dan. It seemed like, especially on Thursday night, there was a little bit more sunshine than there was last night. And a few of the competitors in the first two classes side by side here said, boy, did we notice late in the class when it finally got down just a little bit how much it changed. Tonight, I think that disparity is going to be even larger.
Out of here, fans, and just like Charles had said, we are just about to get things rolling. And once we get started, it's going to be slam bam action here tonight as they are all ready to go. Everybody's back there all lined up, ready to go, and we're just going to run them through as quickly as possible. Everybody wants to get up to that sled and try to have their chance at that 50 thou here tonight.
Adrenaline's definitely flowing back there in the staging lanes, and I know of them are going to want to get through this and just maybe take that relief. Good, bad, or indifferent, they'll come take this turn off, go over the way out scale, get their drawbar checked, and then there'll be that big, deep breath, and it'll just all melt away and say it's up to anything else now.
So fans, make sure you do head on back to the concourse area and check out all the souvenirs available. I know they got the full pull stand back there as well, the T-shirt stand. Yeah, they got some of the retro T-shirts back there. I know they got those new Cummins Killer shirts, and those are pretty cool. And a very popular item here is we'll see the Cummins Killer in action here tonight. So a favorite here, not too far from home, just a couple hours up the road. So all your favorites in action here tonight. We hope you fans that had the opportunity to spend a couple days with us earlier here for the qualifying rounds, because, boy, they were just spectacular.
Start of a new season, so yeah, if you were able to spend some time with us and with your favorite competitor, peruse the pit area. It was open to anybody, walk around, introduce yourself. Everybody, ordinarily I would say very friendly, but as we have noted, a little bit of an edge here for this one this weekend, but happy to show you their wares and equipment, some with new merch, new swag you could update on your favorite puller and wear that proudly.
Yeah, and of course, in the coming weeks here, Charles, we've got the Budweiser Dairyland Super Nationals coming up here in a week and a half already. Hard to believe. I'll be going full bore action there for the 50th annual. Hard to believe. 1976, the first year of that event, and already at their 50th. And boy, they got some really special things planned up there.
They certainly do, and it's a big milestone for them. I believe this is the third of its level and ilk nationwide to achieve that milestone with such consistency over the years, and a phenomenal product. Always been multi-track. Of course, there was a time back in the 80s when they didn't run two, they ran three.
They ran three, yeah.
That was pretty wild. If you can find old video on YouTube, please check it out and see how they used to do that. it's something to see.
Yeah, so that's a coming event. We also got the, July 4th weekend. We'll have Deere, Michigan. We'll have their first Grand National stab at it here. A great regional event the last couple of years, built that up, and having a couple Grand National classes this year.
Yeah, Jim Shandorf's promoter behind that, long-time super stock puller, and then got into a mini ride for a number of years. Now he's put the promoter hat on up there. And started really, it came out of COVID. There was nothing going on. I said, you know what? I got access to some land. We're going to put something in here, and it really turned into what was a premier regional national. It still has some regional classes coming this year, but elevated now, as you said, to Grand National.
Yeah, so they'll have the super semis as well as the light modified class there, and of course we talked about that class there. I think the class of the future, that light modified class, a lot of people getting involved with that, and a lot of interest has developed with that. Years ago we saw the light modified class in the late 80s. Everybody chopped them up, made two-wheelers out of them. And now here we're going back the other way. The two-wheeler guys are going, hey, let's go pull it with a twin-engine tractor.
I got a spare motor in the garage. Let's bolt them both on and double our pleasure.
Yeah, so that seems to be a class that is really, the numbers have started to get better and better here, and the competition, second to none out there. So, if you're anywhere near up that area there. Now, where up in Michigan would be the Deere area, for those not familiar with it?
Lower Peninsula, west side, about halfway up, about maybe 35 minutes off of the Lake Michigan Lake Shore. So holiday weekend, West Michigan is the place to find the sandy beaches. So if you want to make a vacation out of it, by all means, we're happy to have you up there.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great summer. All kinds of great NTPA Grand National events here throughout the country. So, we got the big nationals here this weekend, but, get out and, see some other action as well, as it's all going to be great, as we'll crown champions, of course, this year at the Enderley Pull-Off. A little niche in things.
Yeah, it's a different deal this year, an extra kick in it. It was always about being able to have the bragging rights and whatnot, but it was announced several weeks ago now that points are going to matter when you get there at Urbana. We're getting close here to having our opening ceremonies commence with a way that we honor our nation as is customary. But now's your last call for a chance to clear out concessions, get up here in the stands, and get ready to rip at the very first event of its kind, the Farley Nationals here in Farley, Iowa, offering tonight $50,000 to win. Never been done before. And it's not a winner-take-all situation. Everybody running is going home with something. It'll be a great opportunity for 6 lucky drivers to stake bragging rights at having done this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd ask that you all please rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem performed tonight by Amelia Jones from Graff, Iowa, a recent graduate from Western Dubuque High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, a nice round of applause. Amelia Jones from Graff, Iowa, singing our national anthem, a recent graduate from Western Dubuque High School. We thank her for that great rendition of our national anthem. And fans, on behalf of the Simon family, we welcome you to 300 Raceway for the biggest event in the sport of tractor and truck pulling, as we are giving away $50,000 per class here tonight, the biggest event in pulling. I'm Dan Mayer. I'm going to be joined by Miles Krieger, Charles Posch here tonight. We will be your trackside announcers here tonight as we bring you 6 classes. Gentlemen, it's time to get it on.
It is indeed. Every single one of these guys is going to earn what they get. A little bit of a change up in our program here right now. This came out of some discussions throughout the course of the weekend about some suppositions made about the sleds themselves. We are doing our run-ins now rather than earlier.
Yeah, and pretty awesome. We have Fuller Simon over here on the infield side. He's driving a John Deere 4430. It's hooked to the red Ironman sled, of course. The Case IH sled debuted about 3 summers ago. And Fuller has done a phenomenal job this weekend working this track for us. Then we're even more of a treat here on the grandstand side, as our friends from Raider Implement have brought a Case 400. They are referred to as the Black Knight. It's a very rare piece that it is here with us this evening, of course, and it is available at Raider. If you are interested, of course, you can contact those folks and take this absolutely gorgeous tractor home with you. So we're scuffing that track right now, just kind of working things in, making sure the sled works properly, take that first little layer off, and then we'll be ready to go here very, very shortly. This is common. We experience it at every event we go to.
Yeah, absolutely, and just take a couple minutes here. Fans, you do have a couple minutes before the action starts up here tonight. Head on back to the concourse area, grab yourself something good to eat, something cold to drink. Stay hydrated. That sun, she's going to be up for a little bit here, so make sure you do come prepared for that. Of course, we do have earplugs available for the little ones. We got some noisy classes. They'll be out a little bit later on here tonight, so make sure you head on over to the novelty stand and get some of those ear protection for the little ones there. As we're just about ready to go here, boys. Well, Farley, Iowa, are you ready to go pulling here tonight? Let's hear ya. Oh, come on, guys. You can do a lot better than that. You guys ready to go pull it here tonight? That's what we want to hear. Absolutely. Biggest payout in the sport of pulling, $780,000 going to be handed out here tonight. They've qualified. They've come from coast to coast, from Canada down to Louisiana, and they're here to go.
We make a big deal about the $50,000, and of course that's the headliner. But there was also, throughout all these classes, there are some bonus prizes in very specific positions in a lot of classes where if a guy lands in a certain spot, he may be in for extra $1,000 plus bonus for not winning.
Yes, absolutely. Miles, you got the rundown on all those.
Yeah, I'm honored to get to present these or talk to these a little bit. The AP1 Insurance $1,000 bonus is going to go to the 22nd place finisher in this four-wheel drive class. So not that you ever want to finish last by any means at all, but if you were tonight, you get an extra $1,000. Our friends at Sempico have come on board. They will present $1,000 to the 13th place finisher in this four-wheel drive class. And the winner will receive a set of tires from our friends at Nichols Tires. They will be also very happy with those. In the 4-1 class, custom tire cutting, of course, from our friends at Bob Parks, $2,000, and the number that he chose is 14. So the 14th place finisher will receive $2,000. Our friends from Weimer Fuel and Air have come on board. They will give $5,000 additional dollars in a voucher to Weimer, to both the 4-1 and the 10,000-pound Pro Stock Tractor class. Super Stock Diesel 4x4 class, Lincoln Diesel Specialties has put $2,000 up in bonus. It will go to the number 8 finisher. The mini class, CM Pulling Tires will provide one set of uncut tires to the 10th place finisher. Two-wheel drive class, CM Pulling Tires, again, the presenting sponsor for the mini rods as well. They will present an uncut set of tires to the two-wheel drive puller that finishes third. And in the Pro Stock class, our friends from Mack Trailer present $2,000 to the 4th place finisher, as well as the winner receiving that voucher from Weimer. So those are the numbers we've got from RJ. It's going to be a really fun night, not just watching somebody win $50,000, but also take home a pretty cool prize.
Yeah, that is very cool how that is going to be sprinkled on through the fields here tonight, as all those competitors back there in the lineup area just getting ready to go, getting suited up, as we'll have one more drag on each side of the track here, and we should be underway here tonight.
Time is drawing close, drawing near. We've got a lot of seasoned veterans who've done this for a long, long time back there in the lanes. We've also got some fellas that are maybe in a new position for them to tackle this event, and we're able to get through, and extra butterflies to kind of settle out for yourself and get control of things. There were a few fellas that I had conversations with that did not make the transfer here, and they related to me that it wasn't that the vehicle did anything wrong, it was me. I got a little too excited, something simple that I don't normally do, and I screwed myself up, and it's on me.
Yeah, and we had sent a lot of good competitors home here this week, and I know coming this morning to the track, past quite a few of them heading up the highway, heading home. Yeah. You know, did not qualify here for pulling. That's something that we don't normally see.
I'd be lying if I told you that a few of them that I had circled to potentially win this thing didn't make the final show. So a little housekeeping spot here. I'm going to tell you, if by chance you are making your way into the infield from the grandstand side, be it into our friends at Raider Implement, their VIP tent, or to the infield to sit and watch this event, we want to encourage you to please make sure you stay up by the turn wall in the chalk line and follow the chalk line around the curve here into the infield. We're doing that for your safety, of course, so please make sure you follow that path as you walk out of the VIP tent or the infield to make your way to the grandstand. Outside of the chalk line, all the way around curve number 1 here. We thank our friends again from Raider Implement. They are our presenting sponsor. Raider Implement, Dubuque, Iowa, of course, your one-stop shop for all of your equipment needs. Family-owned since 1957. Third-generation business is a multi-line dealership carrying high-quality new and used tractors and combines, as well as farm equipment. You can visit Raider Implement in Dubuque, Eastern Iowa's premier implement dealer. Again, we thank them for allowing us to have that beautiful case with us here this evening, as it may Beautiful, beautiful looking piece of machinery as it has tested for us tonight. RJ Simon, I believe, behind the wheel there, driving the Black Knight Case IH 400.
All right, fans, we're going to send it right down to Charles Posch.
And we'll look down here. Something that you want to see on these tight clay tracks like this is you want to see a shine on top. A lot of pullers talk about that, and it is present right now. I'm staring directly in the sun. I can see that reflection on this nice tight clay dirt. It'll be interesting to see if that stays as long as that big yellow ball is up there in the sky, or if it goes away for them. As we talked about earlier here just a couple of minutes ago, this is a unique situation for this particular weekend to have a cloudless sky overhead. It will be a thing for approximately the next 60 to 80 minutes on what it's going to look like and what it's going to be. As that sun's beating down on things and they start churning this track in, yes, the sled itself is going to pack things in better than that wobble wheel ever could, but the sunshine is going to drive the moisture down into the track surface. Once we get back down in the sun back down behind the turn 3 wall there, that moisture will start to work its way back up and this track will come in. We've seen that happen on both sides in our first classes, where in the middle it does seem to kind of want to go away, but we're about ready to go. We got someone backing in there on the 4.1 Limited Pro Stock side of the track.
And we are live streaming to the world right here on Full Pull Live. Once again, I'm Dan Mayer, joined by Miles Krieger, and we got Charles Posch down there track side. And guys, it's shaping up to be an incredible weekend. We have seen everything so far, the qualifying, everything. We've got our first tractor on the track, Miles.
Yep, we're going to bring Kendra Rauch. She comes to us out of Billings, Missouri, driving the John Deere known as the High Class Hooker. Now, Billings, Missouri, southwest of Springfield. If you are going to travel that way from here, you're probably about 7.5 hours or so. And certainly she was one of those folks that received that number 1 in the draw. And while she may not have shown any excitement per se while she found that number 1, she finds her way right here with the option. She'll be the first one to have that choice tonight, and she may be able to reevaluate. If it doesn't quite work, she can turn that pull down, possibly come back later in the class.
All right, so here we go. The High Class Hooker ready to get us rolling here. 9,500-pound Limited Pros. We have got 22 tractors. They're going to battle it out here for $50,000 to win. Here we go. All right, then, so Kendra Rauch gets us going here out of Billings, Missouri. And now the big decision for Kendra. She'll probably look over to the sideline. We'll see one of her crew members down there. And we give her that option simply because she hasn't seen anybody else go down the track. Now, speaking of the tracks here tonight, fans, of course, we're running double track action. But those tracks will be 350 feet in length, approximately 45 feet wide, as wide as your normal 2-lane highway. You'll notice the white lines each side of the track. Any portion of that pulling vehicle touches those white lines, you will be disqualified. So here we go. We got a distance of 307.17, 307.17. And we will wait and see whether or not she was satisfied with that one here tonight. All right, here we go. Modified four-wheel drive side. Jamie Bush, Mason City, Iowa, with the wild ride. Once again, he will have the option as the first puller in our 6,200-pound modified four-wheel drive class. Now, fans, all these weights in pulling are maximum weights. You go to the stock car races, you want to be light. Not here in pulling. We have a maximum weight rule. So, you cannot weigh more than 6,200 pounds, as we see Jamie Bush spotting that sled over there on the left side. Our number one hook here tonight in our 6,200-pound modified four-wheel drives. Now, there'll be 650 cubic inches underneath the hood. No turbochargers allowed, no superchargers allowed in this class. So, naturally aspirated horsepower here tonight, and you're looking around that 1,800 horsepower range with these trucks.
Thus far this weekend in this very four-wheel drive class, hook number one has been the one you want. We'll see if Jamie Bush can take that and make that a $50,000 run right there. But both of our preliminaries, Rob Foster, Taylor Corsa, they had the option, they kept the pole, they won the prelim. So we'll watch and see how far the wild ride. And Jamie Bush makes the run.
All right, so we look over at the Limited Pro side. We had a distance of 3:07.17. We haven't had any confirmation on it, but we do believe that she did turn that run down. 3:07.17. Kendra Rouse says, hey, I think I can do a little bit better than that. So Miles will go check here with NTPA's Greg Randall, and we'll find out officially here what the decision was. So fans here in Farley, we are doing things a little bit different. We weigh the vehicles and we check the hitch height on them before they go to the weight transfer machine. But we're also going to do that after they hook here. So we're going, double tech inspection on them, and we'll send it down to Charles Posch down with our first four-wheel drive. All right, so it looks like we're going to go over to the Limited Pro side before we go to Charles here tonight, as we've got Kevin Lindstrom, tough running tractor, Ellsworth, Wisconsin, many-time NTPA Region 3 champion. He calls it the Hyper Harvester.
That's a nice pass right there. And I kind of thought to myself, if they let him slide in from this preliminary where he was not his typical Kevin Lindstrom, it may be something they regret. That was a beautiful pass.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get the numbers here up for Kevin Lindstrom here tonight. Now, this will be the mark to beat here because Kendra Rout did turn down her run. The number one puller in the class, the high-class hooker. She turned down her run of 3:17.17. We'll see the numbers here for Kevin Lindstrom, the Hyper Harvester, as he makes his way off the track here. So 3:42.53, fans. 3:42.53 will set the mark. And as you said, Miles, that's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, we will also inform the fans that they were all notified. All of our folks, the drivers, were notified. We're going to run as far as we can go. We're not going to have pull-offs here. We're going to float as far as we can as we come to our best appearing truck that we presented in the modified four-wheel drive out of Blue Ridge, Georgia. The American-made coming our way to the starting line, Mr. Tommy Corsa.
All right, slack out of the chain. Tommy Corsa, American-made. He calls this ride. Right now, chasing Jamie Bush, our current leader with the wild ride. Jamie at 3:42.53, 3:42. right, so Tommy Corsa going after that 341.31 set by Mason City, Iowa's Jamie Bush here tonight. As we'll send it down trackside to Charles Posch with our number 1 four-wheel drive.
Down here behind the scales with Jamie Bush, test puller. You and Mark Mangan drew for each other, and you wound up on the good side of that. You kept the run. A few hours ago when I walked past you, you said, "Peace be with me." How do you feel now?
Well, the Lord was with me. It was a beautiful path. It's a beautiful day. Built that as a truck for my daughter. Hopefully going to be running here in the future and getting some things dialed in on it. We're glad to be here in Farley. It's a great event, great competitors, and we can't say nothing. There's nothing bad here. It's all great.
Congratulations to you. We'll see if the run holds up. If history proves it does, it just may. Now, are you going to watch, or are you going to just go pace back and forth?
Oh, no, I'm still going to root for all my friends and competitors who are back there. And listen, anybody can win this at any time.
There you go, Jamie Bush fans. Back to you guys.
All right, so going to bounce it back over to the grandstand side as we've got the unfinished business of Jay Ruff out of Garrettsville, Ohio, and his John Deere. Whoa! What do you say, John Deere fans? Yeah. What a run there for Jay Ruff out of the state of Ohio.
That was a no-doubter right there. That was beautiful. The John Deere just going to work. Kept going even faster on the big end of the track for Jay Ruff.
Yeah, we told you they were going to turn them up here tonight, and we are seeing it. Just the third tractor down the track here. And Jay Ruff, a big, big run. And fans, there you go on the big screen. 378.09 for the John Deere. So modified four-wheel drive side. Bill Succi, Inner Grove Heights, Minnesota, with the totally geared Ford Ranger on the starting line. Now each and every competitor has that option where they want to put that wing transfer machine, fans. You'll notice there's an orange cone behind that sled. They'll move it from side to side. And right now, Mr. Succi going to go a little bit right of center out on our track early on here in modified four-wheel drive. One thing for sure about our modified four-wheel drive class, it's one of those classes where just a couple inches will separate the winner, and sometimes even less than that, as it is a very, very tight class. As we are seeing here tonight, Bill Succi out of Minnesota with his totally geared. We'll get the numbers in here for him. So it looks like we saw Chris Sprecher over on the purple Ironman sled here tonight get out of his perch and make a change to that weight transfer machine. So wait officially from the NTPA and the officials. But I'd have to say we did make a change over here on the Limited Pro side.
Down here trackside with Mike Farley, Vice President of Sales from Cowtails. Welcome to the Farley National.
Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate it. Love being here at Farley, Iowa. Last name is Farley. Grandpa set this place up nice.
Indeed he did. It's quite the facility, isn't it?
It is. It's a beautiful facility. I love the fan base. Y'all came down and got us some cowtails. We got more cowtails down there for you.
What is a cowtail? What sort of experience are they in for?
You are going to get a creamy caramel cream experience like you've never had before. Ask the missus. She'll know.
And speaking of the creamy smooth, let's talk about that sport coat.
Yes, this sport coat came directly from Amazon.com. It is our signature coat going to all trade shows and any live events. We have a ball with it.
Now, what did you find in the NCPA family that said, hey, we want to be a part of this community? What did you see here?
Yeah, so the owners, we're 6th generation family owned. We are source all of our ingredients locally, big into corn, big into dairy. Everything is sourced in the U.S. We will not go outside the U.S. So these are our people. These are our people.
So that's all about American made. That's what we want to see. Back to you guys upstairs.
All right, then, so we'll go back here to the starting line over on the Limited Pro side is Bryce Rickless out of Anamosa, Iowa. Will be up next here. A red Revolver entry. Now, what's great about this event, Miles, we're seeing competitors from all different organizations, kind of like we see down at the National Farm Machinery Show, as Mr. Rickless runs with the East Central Iowa organization.
Yes, sir, and that's one of the cool aspects about it is if you were to go through and look at all of our folks that punch tickets, we have state, regional, national. We have folks that don't run for points anywhere that just hit the events that they want to. It's unbelievable, the variety of folks that have entered here and paid the entry fee and have come and performed beautifully. So, pretty awesome.
Yeah, if we would even try to figure that out, Miles, we'd still be counting because, there's so many of them here. And just unbelievable the amount of champions that have come into this pull. So, looks like we got a little slow up there on the grandstand side track here as we'll bring in our next modified four-wheel drive competitor, as it will be Ted Skelton with the Rock out of Harvard, Illinois. That is one of those guys, ran on the Grand National Circuit for quite a few years and then decided to kind of pick and choose where they were going to go.
Yeah, but a guy who has, you think about the checklist of event wins, checklist of places that you hope to go and be successful. He's got those checklists. Now, he'd like to be the $50,000 to win for the very first time. Your leader is Jamie Bush. He had the option. He took that pole at 3:41 and 31. Tommy Corsa, number 2 at his second puller, he was 3:38.175, and then Bill Suki at 3:40 and 78. He's currently in that number 2 position right now.
It's an offset phrase where the rubber meets the road. For you, that is literally your business. Chad Mayill, title sponsor of the Mini Rock class for all of 2025, offered some kicker bonuses here this year. You've been a puller, you've been a sled operator, and now this really is your business.
Yeah, so we started business in 2004, very end of it. This year is kind of a big deal for us. It's our 20th anniversary. And what we've decided with sponsorships and that kind of stuff is give back to the people that got us where we're at, or we wouldn't be here.
Long time, a lot of experience. You have learned to not only be creative, but you have listened to the pullers. You know what they want. based on class, even based on a competitor, and are able to respond with new ideas and new ways to help them up their game.
Yeah, that's the main thing. You can't sit still because nobody else will. So that's tire technology to cuts to all that. That's what we try to stride in.
What sets you apart in terms of quality control and puts you on top?
I think we all do great work as far as other cutters, and I'm not going to discount anybody. It's just the product's got to be on a good tractor and a good setup person, and that also.
How do they find you? How do they get in contact with you? And what's the process look like from start to finish if someone's brand new to your business?
We're phone rings in every day. You can catch us on Facebook or by email, cmpullingtires@yahoo.com. I'm not real big on the Facebook and the Messenger and that stuff, or you can reach me at by cell phone 574-297-1284.
Chad Mayill, CM Pulling Tires, very, very competent gentleman if you want to get into the sport and put the power to the ground. Back to you guys.
All right, fans, well, back on the modified four-wheel drive side, distance for Ted Skelton with the rock truck. He went 3:42.51. We got a new leader over on the four-wheel drive side. And for those fans watching on Facebook and YouTube, we are going to be ending the preview after this truck runs here tonight. So head on over to FullPull.live and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. $39.99 will get you all the action here tonight, as well as all the events coming up here in June. So FullPull.live, we're going to end that preview after this truck runs here now.
That's a fantastic deal to get to watch this weekend and Toma yet. And certainly encourage folks to jump on board as we go to the starting line. That ProFab geared up, coming out of Baldwin, Wisconsin. This is Mr. Larry Peterson. We've talked about ProFab all weekend here, continued support here of this event and all the projects that the Simon family does. We thank them much.
And another solid pass for Larry Peterson here tonight, Baldwin, Wisconsin. With that ProFab geared up. And, of course, ProFab, all the great products that they make for just not only pulling vehicles, but all kinds of motorsport vehicles. Well, Miles, we have debunked that, the first hook in the class has won it here the last 2 days. We've thrown that out the window as Ted Skelton, our new leader, at 342.51. And we will see how this track will develop here. So 340.41, 340.41 for Larry Peterson here tonight, as that will put him back in that number 4 spot here tonight. Go back here to the Limited Pro side. We got Bryce Ricklitz and that Red Revolver out of Anamosa, Iowa. Once again, Limited Pros working that middle part of the track here. So they have reset the sled here. So that means Bryce Ricklitz will be our new test puller out there. So he will be our new test puller, and we will give him that option.
And maybe, just maybe, this being our first reset of the weekend here, you look back and think about the fact that, truthfully, here we've had just amazing sled settings, but I'm guessing that track is ready for a Saturday night 50,000 rim.
Yeah, the track, and then, of course, these vehicles, I think, are hopped up just a little bit more here. So here we go, the Red Revolver on the restart. So Anamosa, Iowa, and Bryce Ricklitz with that red revolver here in our limited pro class, 9,500 pounds, 640 cubic inches underneath the hood of these tractors. They run one single turbocharger. Now, fans, turbocharger, nothing more than an air compressor running off the exhaust pressure. And they are allowed a 4.1 inlet on these limited pro tractors. They also run the 24.5-inch wide rear tires in a very, very popular class. And of course, NTPA Region 3 competition up north, as well as out in the, Missouri, Nebraska areas as well. So we see right now the decision being made here, 326.85, 326.85. The distance there for Bryce Rickliff's 326.85. And he has to tell that official, yes, thumbs up or thumbs down before he leaves the sled. So we will see what his decision is. And no, he's going to turn that down, they tell us. So he is going to go to the bottom.
Yep, he's going to come right back on the bottom end of this group. And a lot of can change, there's no question about it, but it gives him more time to evaluate and look a little closer as we go to the starting line. The second of the Totally team, I believe, coming to the starting line now.
Yes, our lucky dog, Mr. Lawrence Line, out of Corsa, Minnesota. So Lawrence Line, the lucky dog, gets in the program here. Did not qualify in the top 10 in his class, but did come back as a lucky dog. So right now all chasing Ted Skelton at 342.51 with that rock truck. Number 2 spot, we've got Jamie Bush with the Wild Ride at 341.31. And then 340.78 is Bill Succi, teammate here, with his Totally Geared.
Yep, 327 and 28 for Lawrence Line, 327 and 28. And Bill Succi will take the bragging rights home this weekend of that battle, as Bill went 340.785 and Lawrence 327 and 28. So your leader continues to be Ted Skelton, hook number 4 right now, the magical one, the Rock Chevy S10. He was second the other night to Rob Foster in the early running, of course, that preliminary on Thursday night, and held on throughout the rest of the evening. We'll wait and see now just how far we get in this class as we're going to start to change. We bring the second of those entries from the Corsa stable to the starting line. Taylor Corsa, last night's winner. Blue Ridge, Georgia, the TaylorMade comes in next.
And, Miles, one interesting thing about the four-wheel drive class is we saw, quite a few of the team trucks able to get into the show. We had quite a few that did not qualify, but, the ones that did make it into the show, them team trucks, that's pretty tough to do.
Got 2 Sukis in here, 2 Petersons, 2 Corsas. You start digging down through there just a little bit deeper, and there are many teammates that are running up and down the road together and sharing. We've got 3, of course, from the stable from Mr. Galen Young with Graham Young, and obviously Justin Grace and Greg Hitchcock with all 3 of those trucks in there. So, and they're later in the class, 16, 17, and the last hook in the class for all 3 of the G&K team.
All right, so John Meyer Jr. up next here in Limited Pro class. Broadhead, Wisconsin, Meyer Performance R&D. One of our tough Badger State runners. All right, so this will officially set the mark here for our Limited Pro competition. As the first official distance down the track here on the reset. We ran 3 tractors, reset the sled, and we had Bryce Rickliffs, our test puller, decide to turn his run of 326.85 down. So John Meyer Jr. in that, well, sometimes not so great second spot there. You only had to watch a couple vehicles. Don't have that option.
Yep, I get it, but you think about, for Bryce's sake, he turned down 326 and 85. The next tractor goes 330.
winners here this week as Taylor Corsa, a young lady out of Blue Ridge, Georgia, and the tailor-made Ford makes her way down the track here tonight.
Well, once you know you do not have the $50,000, your thought process might change a little bit to where you have to be in order to pick up a little extra cash. Obviously, first, second, third getting some cash here. After that, we're going to go to the bonus awards that are being presented.
So we will send Taylor Corsa over the scales here as she makes her run of 336.85 here tonight. And looks like going to be just outside of that top 5 here. And I would imagine we're going to start seeing these competitors on the four-wheel drive side start moving around a little bit more here. All right, so it looks like we got Charles Posch down on the front stretch one more time.
It's on your trackside with the U.S. Army. Please welcome Sergeant First Class Workman and Staff Sergeant Kolajeko. First things first, gentlemen, I want to say thank you to each of you. And second thing I want to say is happy birthday. Today is the 250th birthday of the U.S. Army.
Thank you. Thank you for having us out here.
So, have either of you been to an event like this before?
No, never.
Liking the horsepower that you're seeing so far?
Oh, this is awesome.
Your opinion?
That's great. Great, loving it.
U.S. Army offers a very unique career opportunity where it's totally merit-based. What you put in can be what you get out.
Correct. We offer over 157 different jobs, a lot of blue-collar jobs, trade jobs, everything. Everything is credentialing and certifying, so, good way to set your future up.
You're looking for people, you're local in this area?
Correct. I'm the station commander for the U.S. Army Dubuque Recruiting Station.
How do people find you guys?
Come swing by our office, find us online. We're on Instagram, Facebook. If you see us walking around town or give us a call, stop by our booth.
I can tell you, meeting you two, it's comfortable. It's an easy conversation. What's the process feel like for somebody coming in blind?
Hardest part is walking through those doors to the recruiting office because you don't know what you're walking yourself into. But it's a no-pressure, process. Come in, hear what we can offer you. If you like it, great. We'll walk you through the whole process. If not, we'll shake hands and you'll part ways.
Back down to you guys.